with three ohms. Oh. Mm. Mm. Dear Swami, we welcome you to today's session. Please help us in delving into the Atmic nature that we have explained as in Gita Vahini. Please be with us, think through us, talk through us, and please help us in understanding the things to apply in our real life. Sairam. Sairam all, welcome to the session, episode 17, the Dharma Matrix. We have been discussing about the Atmic nature from last few episodes, and in specific in the last episode, we have discussed about the qualities of Atma and how to apply them for individual roles as a son, as a daughter, as a co-worker, and at many times. Now, in this session, we are going to delve into the individual roles, and then we are going to see how we can apply the different Atmic principles at different points of time, and how to connect the soul wisdom with the Atmic nature. Also, after that, we'll be going into the breakout session with a valuable input that we will be taking before the session through a video. And then after completion of the breakout session, we'll come back and then we'll discuss about the outputs that we got through our discussion. And Brother Suresh will provide the conclusion. Thank you, Sairam. Over to you, Advaita.
Thank you, Rata. Sairam, everyone. So over the last year and a half, we've talked about many things, starting from the modern day Arjuna. And as Brother said, we've also talked about the different characteristics of Atma through all of these sessions. And where did we get it from? Of course, the Bhagavad Gita, specifically chapter 2. And then the qualities that we delve deeper into are eternal, immovable, immeasurable, indestructible, and unmanifest. But before I go into these, let's just take a moment to think about our superpowers. What are our superpowers? And if that's a little confusing, think about your strengths. And please scan the Menti code and please type in your answers. I don't see any responses yet. Just think about your strengths. Superpower might be too big a word. So yeah. Collaborative, Dharma, caring, forbearance. Very nice, thank you. Empathy, adaptability, forbearance, kindness, hardworking, commitment, organized, curiosity, faith in God, inherent love, following the right path. I like that. Self-awareness, team player, very nice. Perseverance, self-control, nice characteristics. Positivity, helpfulness. Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. let's just hold on to that. Hold on to your superpowers, and I'll get back to that. So let's just briefly talk one more time about these characteristics, just as a refresher. When we think about eternal quality of Atma, think sustainability. Think, is it going to help in the long run? Is it going to be consistent? And are we thinking about the benefit of many just than ourselves? Are we going to leave a legacy behind? And of course, tree plantation that does come under eternal, but then there's other things like behavioral patterns that we can hand down the future generations as well, isn't it? So those are all the eternal characteristics of Atma. Next is immovable. Now think stability, where you're not swayed by temptations. There is consistency in faith, in principles, right? Then immeasurable, like you can think sky is the limit. You have infinite possibilities. And then you could think of abilities, talents, values, like you have infinite passion, strength, like that's just like a humongous amount of it. Say indestructible, and basically we're talking about the spirit, which can never be destroyed or diminished. There is just no giving up. So that's the indestructible nature of Atma. And then finally, the unmanifest. Think the seed form, right? There are so many possibilities to explore. We have hidden potentials in us, knowledge and talents that we haven't explored. We don't even think we have those qualities, but then you just have to give it a try. So that is the unmanifest form of Atma.
Brother, can I interrupt you for a while?
Brother, yeah.
No, I can relate to many things that you have been explaining here.
Brother, can I just explain this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So think of these characteristics as baskets, right? And see if you can put the superpowers that you had shared with us earlier, if you can put them in these baskets. Somebody said, let's say, what did they say? Maybe positivity, they all, even through tough situations, they're always positive. So we could think of it as the indestructible nature of Atma, that that positive. If I had to put it in this basket, the positivity, I would maybe put it under the indestructible aspect of Atma, right? And then there was kindness, right? So let's say you have an immeasurable amount of kindness. So I would put it under immeasurable aspects. And of course, there are things that I'm sure you can put it in different baskets also, right? But basically, I just wanted to give you an idea about, how we could relate these characteristics together. And last month, we had specifically talked about the different dharma for different categories, and we had talked about dharma for parents, right? And so some of the things that we had talked about, we had questioned ourselves, like, am I a good role model for my children? Or, I balance love and discipline well, I reflect equanimity and balance. I take an effort to correct my children when they are wrong, but then I also take an effort to connect with them before just correcting them, So this is that ideal condition, which, like Baba has told us to follow, right? But then in the ideal, I mean, in reality, though, it's not always the case, like parents are complaining, like they don't listen to us, they're lying to us. And in this world, which is, we're rushing through the day, how can we ever be in equanimity and balance? And, what do you mean by connecting with my child, And also in last month's session, we had talked about in the breakout sessions where some parents had said that we try to enforce more of discipline than love. Now we realize it should be like 50-50, but then there was too much of discipline. And so we still, as parents, let's say, have to learn quite a lot, right? But then we are still lost. Like, what is my Atma Dharma, right? So then, worry not. We can use our superpowers, okay, to follow uh, the Atmic Dharma. And there is a process, though. It's not very simple. There is a process. So, sorry, brother, go ahead. You wanted to say something?
No, I have been just listening to the things that you have been explaining,
Mm-hmm.
and I can relate to them.
Okay.
Uh, because I am into a problem and I need a solution for that one.
Okay.
Uh, I can relate to many things as I explained. Now, I'm not feeling really good, happy, the way how I'm behaving with my son. Um, I'm doing good as a father. I'm trying to do my duties, but at some
Mhm.
point of time, I feel like I'm not doing justice to my role. Why can't you take a look at my problem?
Okay. Let's see. Just hold on.
Dad, we got your test results today. Looks like your blood sugar levels are pretty high. I know you love sweets, but I think you have to reduce it going forward. I will sit with you and we shall plan a good day-to-day diet for you. And also, I'll check with my dietitian friends to see if there are any good sugar alternatives.
Sure, son. Let's work on it. And going forward, I shall be very mindful of what from now onwards.
Thank you, Dad.
Dad, I don't feel too good today. I don't want to go to school.
I told you not to eat too much of ice cream over the weekend. You never listen to me. See now what has happened because of that thing. You kids never get enough of candies and ice cream, right? Go, take some warm water and go back to your room. Don't spread this to your sister.
Hmm.
I'm
I see.
feeling I'm feeling guilty, that I did not handle my emotions correctly here. I try to show my anger, but it's not like I want to say multiple times to him to not to eat the ice cream too much. But when he will understand, when he will really come to the place where he can understand the situation, and I'm not able to control these emotions. Now, you are saying there are some superpowers with which I can control my emotions.
Mhm.
And how can that be possible? How can I have a superpower?
Okay. All right. Let's start from the basics. So tell me how you're feeling right now, one more time.
As I felt, as I said, I felt guilty and, I was not able to control my emotions.
Right.
And then I feel frustrated. That's what I can
Right.
say.
Right.
Even though I
Right. Okay.
apologized him at later, but I felt like, no, why I have shouted at him. I should not have shouted. I should have explained him better.
I understand. I understand. So tell me, when your dad's sugar level was high, didn't you get upset?
Of course, I felt upset and scary as well.
So why didn't you shout at him?
Shouting at my father? Why I'll shout at him?
Well, you see, you're so patient in telling him what he should do, isn't it? Even though you said it was scary, it's not good, you never showed any signs of anger, did you?
No, I guess you are
No.
correct.
Yeah. So, okay, let's say at work, do you go on shouting at your coworkers if they don't do the work they're supposed to do?
No, why would I shout at them? I'll try to find the problem and try to provide a solution to them.
Exactly. See, so you're so patient and so compassionate with all of them. So, wouldn't you say that the patience and compassion is your superpower?
Now I am getting it.
Yeah. So, so to put it in an atmic way or the soul wisdom way, you have immeasurable patience and compassion, and you just got to tap into it while dealing with your kids too.
But then what I can possibly tell to my son when I'm into this situation, even if I'm going to be patient?
Okay, just say, like, instead of nagging and telling him, don't do this, don't do that, just ask him questions like, what would happen if we worked all day long, or if we played all night, all day and all night long? And then ask him, like, similarly, what happens when we do too much of anything, or we eat too much of anything? Let him come up with answers himself. I'm sure he'll get it.
I could try that.
Yes. And these solutions, or your new approach, your change in behavior, let's say it was in the unmanifest form earlier, which now you just manifested. So you see the unmanifest quality of Atma.
Okay. Now I'm beginning to understand the things.
Mhm.
So let me try the other one. Because I'm not giving up on my child and always striving to provide him the best, to matter what it will be. And I am tapping onto the indestructible quality of my Atma, right?
Absolutely, you got that right. So let's see if the audience can try to answer this question. Okay, this is for our participants. How do our children need to see us handle our emotions even when they or circumstances trigger us? Like, think children are triggering us, circumstances are not going according to what we have thought. So, but how do our children need to see us handle our emotions? Can anybody share their answers? And if people are typing, Anusha, can you share?
We have Sister Uma saying calmly.
Yes, definitely. Any
With-
more answers?
With equanimity, with love.
Yes, yes, definitely, right? Thank you for your answers. Yes, they need to see us balanced and composed and taking actions mindfully, maybe not reacting right away. If they see us nervous or agitated when things don't go right, they will think that is the normal thing to do, isn't it?
So audience, what do you think? What quality are you touching here? What quality are we tapping here?
Yes. So, Sister Uma and some of the other participants, like you said, you gave the answers, right? So, what quality of Atma are we tapping into? Yes, we have to be calm and composed. What do you think? What quality of Atma did we just tap into?
Be in their shoes to understand them with a lot of patience.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes, I do get it. But remember the five, these characteristics of
qualities.
Atma, like the eternal, immovable, immeasurable, indestructible, or the unmanifest. What quality of Atma did we tap into when we were all calm and composed?
Yes.
Yes,
Mr.
what was the
100%.
quality? What quality of Atma do you think?
We have immovable, we have immeasurable.
Very nice. Exactly. Yes. We had, you got it. You got it. And I hope everybody is able to follow along. I hope you're getting it, right? So, all right, one more question. You want to ask, brother?
Yep. The next one is like, how do you think this behavior will help them in a long run?
Yeah, you're being calm and composed, not reacting right away. How is it going to help the children who are seeing you in the long run?
And at the same point of time, that quality, can you please relate to the related Atmic quality? You're showing your calm behavior.
Sairam, give them time to realize.
Yeah.
Yes, they will relate to you differently, manifesting the unmanifest.
So they will relate to you. Did you say that?
Yes, we had a participant share that they will relate to you differently. They will reach out more openly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They will be loving.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And they too will learn to handle emotions just the way we are handling ours, right? And so we are actually passing on a behavioral pattern to our future generations, right? So did somebody also mention the Atmic quality?
They will manifest their divine qualities. They
Okay.
will respond to you better.
Okay, yeah, maybe the unmanifest aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was latent in them. And when we also talk about passing on some quality to our future generations, we also think eternal, you know. And so I think we have a great audience, brother, and thank you so much for
thank you all.
your responses. And Praveen, so, you know, earlier you were doing your dharma, right, as a father, but then if we align with our Atmic qualities that we've been talking about, I think we will always perform our Atmic dharma, which is the highest form of dharma, isn't it?
Yes, I got it.
Yes. Thank you. So let me get back to sharing this. Now, last month, we had also talked about the dharma of sons and daughters, you know, and some of the points that we had done a self-reflection on were, do I do my best to keep my parents happy? Am I a source of pride for my parents? Do I make my parents feel that I'm always for them? You know, do I often express my gratitude to them? Am I always a solution provider to my family rather than a source of worry? Right? We have a scenario that we will be looking at, and then let's see what that is up to.
Hi, Maya. How did your day go today?
It's fantastic, Mom. It's pretty packed, but I've had fun. It's exciting.
That's good to know. That's a good attitude to have all the time. I know you will be finishing your degree and you're going to be looking for new things to do soon. Did you get a chance to see the brochure I sent you?
Yes, it is all about business administration.
Mm-hmm.
I have something to tell you, but I'm not interested in business administration. I would like to pursue my career, my education in art history. How does that? Yeah, art history.
Oh my God. What kind of a job would you get with that? A museum tour guide?
Maybe, or maybe a curator or a researcher.
Something that'll pay minimum wage? You need a real career, Maya. Something that'll pay your bills. Something that you can use to get a house, have a family. Art history, it's a hobby, not a career.
Mom, it's not a hobby to me. I love it. You know, I got a A in art history class.
Maya, I know you're very smart, but you gotta be realistic. You gotta be practical.
What practical would that be? I'll be miserable. I'll be stuck in a cubicle looking at all the spreadsheets. Oh my God, I can't even think of that. It's not practical to me.
You'll get used to it. Everyone does. It's called being an adult.
No, it's called settling. I don't want to settle.
You think I settled? I worked so hard to give you what you have now. When I didn't have all the opportunities you had.
I know, Mom, and I appreciate it. But this is my life. This is my only life. My choice.
All right. So this is a scenario. Now, taking this scenario, we will go into breakout rooms. So we will be divided into a Dharma for sons and daughters group, and the other one will be Dharma for parents group. Okay. So we will try to see what or how can we use use these Atmic qualities that we have been discussing so far? How can we use that to perform our Atmic Dharma? Because see, daughter wants to do something, mother wants to do something else. So what is the right thing to do? What should the daughter actually pursue? So let's see how these Atmic qualities guide us. So we will go into breakout rooms. Anusha will just put us into these rooms, and we'll come out. We'll go through this scene. I mean, we'll discuss and we'll come out and give our summary. All right. So let's go group by group and see what each group had to share. So in general, let's see. Can we talk about, what was the general feel of the room? Could the participants understand how we manifest Atmic qualities in our everyday lives and use it to find solutions? And for maybe the sons and daughters group, can we mention one creative idea that the group came up with, in which the parents would, in which the sons and daughters would use to persuade their parents to allow them to pursue arts? Or for the parents group, can we list any creative ideas that they would use to persuade their child to pursue business administration? And it need not just be business administration, it might be something of your choice. So yeah, let's get started. Anybody who wants to go? I see you, Brother Sanjeev. You're mute.
Oh, sorry. I'll keep it really short because I'd love to hear from Brother Suresh as well. So can everyone hear me or?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. So I think the general feeling in the room, I mean, just a couple of key points. General feeling in the room was just, very engaged and sort of understanding of, we were in the parents' room. So understanding of the what the mother was going through, and the words that sort of came out were, um, a recipe for success, recipe for failure. Mother is feeling, there was some kind of a common thread that mother is feeling a sense of anxiety. And then through the conversations as we went around the room, it kind of became more obvious that it was sort of like this: feeling anxious, sort of fearing of the unknown, sort of the uncertainty, the path less traveled, and that sort of leads to classic situation where parents do a lot of comparisons for the children, right? Like, well, look at that person, et cetera, et cetera. So that was kind of the just hopefully kind of gives you an idea in terms of, can they come to a solution? We didn't go venture that far into the actual solution itself. However, the general feeling was that no, based on because of the way that they were sort of, it wasn't even an emotion, it was at mental or even at like a physical level that conversation was going on. It was certainly not at the Atmic level. And therefore, there was no kind of, obvious solution that was kind of being generated. Things like, generational gap and so on. And then finally, in terms of the qualities of the Atma, which is kind of the core theme, there were at least two that came out. One was about the unmanifest, where there were several examples that brothers and sisters shared, but leaving the examples apart, it was about the opportunity to let the unmanifest within the daughter sort of manifest as we were worked through, and just kind of give them the opportunity to explore and give them the space. And the other one was, this was an interesting one. It came out like faith. And the context there was, it was faith and immovable. That they won't, they're not going to fail, right?
Right,
And
right.
so there is that sort of coming from that place
Immeasurable.
of faith, and then somebody very appropriately pointed out that it's like, Swami would never sort of allow their children to quote unquote fail, whatever that means, right? and fail. And then the very last point was, one sister shared, and I'll post the link, or maybe Didi, you can post the link, of a poem by Khalil Gibran, and it's quite stellar actually. That I think everyone should certainly read it, or if many people may be familiar with it. So sorry that kind of took a little longer than I wanted to. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to go next? Please.
I can go next. Yeah, it's short. Thank you for the opportunity, Sayonara. Yeah, the general feel was in the room was it was intense. They were trying to figure out like what's the right thing to do. But I'll focus more on the creative idea first, and that was nice. I think Sister Shilpa mentioned we had Sister Shilpa.
Sons and daughters.
I'm sorry?
You were in the sons and daughters group.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sons and daughters group, yes. So I think Sister Shilpa mentioned that her daughter made some arts, art paintings and all, and then she donated at libraries and hospitals. So I think it's not a thing that comes one time. It is built from childhood. It is imbibed into you through teaching, through seeing to community and all that stuff. So when we talk about like if you're taking a career and you have to think about others, and there was a counter argument as well where they say like you have to think about yourself first. If your glass is empty, you cannot share with other people, right? So obviously there's no right and wrong, but the point is like it's a pattern that has to be made, and that actually evolves itself as we grow in our lives. So I like that idea. It was very creative, and I'll try to implement it as well. And the other thing I want to just mention is like these questions are nice, but I think people were looking more for something, a takeaway. And there were a couple questions they were saying, like, how do we implement this in our lives? Not just this scenario. So instead of going so deep first, they were looking for some sort of answer or some sort of, a mantra, as we said, spiritual toolkit that they can take home and start implementing it. Thank you, Saira.
Okay, I will let brother talk about that.
Yes.
Okay, but let's just finish the breakout room, the summaries first. Thank you so much, brother. Who was in the other sons and daughters group?
Manohari.
Okay.
Yeah, our group, we went on the daughters thing, and then our room we had a decent discussion, and most of our participants were able to understand how to apply or how to put the questions into the basket of the Atma as well. Yep. And then creative ideas, I would go with like they said, like letting go that, mom side not being very protective and daughter side not being very determined, but the plan is already there and just hold on to Swami, but have a smooth process. That's what they were referring to. And also we were going through some certain level of questions, and then how to handle this, say like, okay, help, Gayatri Mantram, breathing, all these tools they want to use when they don't have that, or when they want to tap into that patience. At certain situations, they'll be like in the verge, right? And then like, okay, they want to pause and stop, and they have that patience, and they just want to remind and exercise something. And also, all of them were in an agreement, like it should be from both sides. Even the mom should have that vision. And also we did the parent side version as well. How should a parent think in this case? And how should a child bring up to the parent? Why is mom bringing up such questions? And thinking on that perspective, and they were like, okay, because she doesn't have an idea, or maybe to bring up or more information. Okay, this can be a legitimate career too, and all, bringing her some confidence. First of all, she should have that confidence and all. So thinking that's where I think.
Thank you. And yes, even in my group, this is for the parents group. Yes, I think people could understand these Atmic qualities. And just one of our participants shared, like her daughter wanted to drop out of school and wanted to do dance, but then the parents had a conversation and They said, like, if you finish school, then we'll give you 1 year of, we'll allow you to do dance after 1 year, for 1 whole year. You can do the professional dance training, and then you can again pursue a degree. And then I think she's doing law. So I think, there was a good balance, there was conversation, everything was happening at an atmic level. And that is why, they were able to come up with a solution. And I really think that is what a creative idea is, we were trying to hint at, right? So, and brother, I don't want to take much of time. So I will, is he here? Brother Suresh?
Yeah, Sairam.
Please.
Sairam, dear brothers and sisters, really very nice. By the infinite grace, love, and compassion of Bhagavan, we are here in this satsang on a concept of Dharma. All
Brother, we cannot hear you.
Very practical for us. Okay, you can listen, you can hear?
Now we can, it was, yeah,
Okay.
now I can, yeah.
Okay, so why we resorted to listening to Krishna's Gita and looking at the dharmic point of view is for the purposes of having a rationality towards having a mindset which helps you to solve your problems. In the normal conversation, like a daughter and son, daughter and mother like that, you can end up in experiencing a lot of conflict. It is my program, it is my life, I can do what I want. The mother gets stressed up, everybody gets affected because we are operating at the body level, mind level, and intellect level. So most of the conflicts are always arising as a result of using only these 3 toolkits. If you use these 3 toolkits, you always will be very limited in your options, which is why Krishna introduced the fact that we actually have another aspect of us, which is the Atma. So then we studied 6 months, especially going through each of the characteristics of the Atma. So now we need to apply this particular tool. So when we apply, what does it mean? Initially, you will find difficulty in applying because you are not used to this idea. So every time any situation, we jump and we try and sort it out to the best of our ability and hope the other person agrees. And if he agrees, it's a peaceful conversation. If he doesn't agree, it's not a peaceful conversation. But Atmic level, the qualities of the Atma is how you should refer. That's why Baba said, you are not body, you are not what you others think you are. You are not what you think you are what you really are. And what are you really? You are really the Atma. So the question is, you have to operate from the Atmic level in every one of our interactions and conversations so that there will be balance in the way you speak. Example, in this question now, why we structured it in this manner is because when you say immeasurable. So the question is, if the Atmic quality is immeasurable, if I'm not relating to my Atma, I will be impatient. Hey, excuse me, I'm the mother. I'm telling you, this is what you should be doing. After all, I'm the one who gave birth to you, right? I would know more than anything else in this world. Why should you become an arts and history teacher? I mean, history student. How will you? So I impose my way on you and make you want to follow that. So you're only taking it from the body, mind, and intellect. But if you take it from the Atma, I ask, do you have immeasurable amount of patience to understand why your daughter is taking this path? Why is it that she's saying? Do you have the immeasurable compassion to understand why she's taking this path? And then the daughter also must understand that the mother is also saying these things because she's concerned about the future. When you resort to something like this, what about 10, 15 years from now? Is it going to guarantee you a job? It's a very legitimate question the mother is asking. So where is it coming from? So the daughter must check from her immeasurable compassion, immeasurable patience to understand the mother. So what's happening now? It's empathetic connections that you're making between the soul of the mother and the soul of the daughter in a situation that you can diffuse the problem, having empathetic relationship. It is not about finding a solution. It is about focusing on the process of finding a solution. So the toolkit that is given to you by this questioning method is for you to have a kind of a bearing to focus on the process and don't go to the end result and then stand there. So the process is very good and very beautiful. You'll have a beautiful relationship. Then I look at the fact that I must be eternal. Eternal means, I want to sustain my relationship with my mother. I also want to sustain. So it's on that sustainable relationship that I have with you. My conversation is not hot, it's not spicy, it's not targeted, it's not scolding. It's a very nice, beautiful way of coming to a solution. And when you have the basis of your conversation is based upon a relationship that is going to be sustainable for a long periods of time, you'll always find you are empathetic, isn't it? You'll always find empathetic. And then you don't want to move away, immovable. You don't want to move away from this solid relationship that you have with your mother. So I can use the immovable quality of making sure that I do not have, like what Baba said, you can disagree, but need not be disagreeable. See, I put all my Swami's teachings in my conversation to find a solution. And then I talk about unmanifest, which means to say, what is the meaning of the unmanifest? Unmanifest means I try and develop a very creative way of trying to find a solution. Have I tapped my most creative way to find a solution? Yes, there is a thing that you are interested in this. Yes, I'm interested in this. But how do I manifest? How do I tap my most unmanifested zones of my creativity to bring out the best solution? Sometimes you may not get a solution at that point of conversation. I just leave it, don't worry. We'll think about it 2-3 days later, leave it. You'll find something, some calculation will take place. Somebody will come and give an idea, and then you find an answer coming through. So what does it mean? You have tapped your answers, and you are allowed options to be open. Why is that so? Because you have an indestructible thing. That is, you have not the spirit of the conversation, spirit of the relationship, spirit of the fact that the child has to also contribute to humanity, and the child also wants to contribute. That indestructible spirit is the zeal that keeps the whole conversation alive and a flame being there. When you do like that, it's a very civilized way of discussing, very civilized way of coming to a solution. That is Atmik. That's what spiritual conversations are all about, isn't it? If that is the case, if you do it this way, you find all your problems in your office, in everything that you do, you always will find a beautiful solution to have a nice answer. Systematically, but in the mind, you have a systematic way of doing it. Of course, once it comes naturally to you, then you will find you'll naturally do it. You don't have to actually do it in this manner. But when you follow, I am an Atma, I am God, I'm Swami's devotee, I should not get upset, I should not get angry, I should not be agitated. See, I have this thing programming inside my head, then I will behave in such a way that pleases Bhagavan at the end of the day. And let me tell you the final solution. The final solution is, at the end of the day, when both parties sit together, the universe has its own level of giving a solution at the right place at the right time. The mother will slowly accept what it is, or the daughter will accept. Finally, you will get to a cause that is very applicable. Everything will follow suit. You'll find every argument always finds a solution at the end. So why do you need to agitate, restless, and fight and quarrel, everything else, and then finally come up to the point? This respect and reverence, we should keep to it all the time. It is very important. I think the eternal part of it is so important. We keep the relationship as a solid basis. Otherwise, there's no conversation also. There's no need for a conversation, actually. I will do what I want. This is my life. I can do what I want. Means there's no relationship at this point of time. And I don't even need to convince my mother. Hey, are you so knowledgeable that you know everything? I can argue like that also. But that argument doesn't come in a spiritual parlance.
Yes, brother.
Makes sense?
So, yes. Should we take 1 or 2 questions? I don't know if
please,
people.
please.
Yes. I think when we talked about that scenario, the mother-daughter scenario, and we were saying where are they coming from? So some of the participants in our breakout room, they said when the daughter said, okay, mom, I think I understand you, but this is what I want to do and all. Some of them thought they were talking from the Atmic level, but some of them were like, you don't know, maybe it's just like, one of their, it's not an Atmic level. They'll think of something today, then they might change they might hop onto something tomorrow. It might be an intellect. So how does from a parent perspective know that, okay, even I'm thinking from an Atmic level, but even my child has to think from an Atmic level?
No, it's not like that. the problem is you can't control the world. Number one,
Mhm.
first rule of the game is you cannot control the world, and you cannot control. Firstly, if you want to make anything happen, you first control it from, you first dictate, or you first speak from your Atmic level consciousness. The more and more Atmic you are, the more the daughter or the children will automatically conform, because Atma has got a commanding presence.
Mhm.
It's not a demanding presence that I am the father, I am the mother. No. If you operate on another, children will know. Children will naturally come to a natural state and will start respecting. So this is the kind of state that we should be. So we need not worry whether the other people are commanding other people, whether I am doing it. So how do you know you're doing it? Number one, I'm not agitated. Number two, I'm not irritated. I'm not angry. I'm calmly, empathetically responding. I'm taking from my immeasurable patience. I've got immeasurable compassion. And I know that in deep in my heart, I have not thought creatively, because I've not tapped my deeper. See, I have this thing with me. Once I sort these things out, I'm okay. I got no problems.
Anybody have anything to any question, brother Samar? Did you have any questions for Brother Suresh? You want to ask right now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
There's just one question that Sister Nalini had. It comes to Atmic qualities, but she said, how do we know the Atma is right? I forget the exact sentence. She said, like, well, how do we know that? We think from so many angles. But now how do why do we think Atma knows everything? More like that.
Yeah.
Why Atma?
Number one, once when the Atma sense, because this is where you have to give training every day, sadhana, meditation, you do your regular practices, then your Atmic muscles will start to develop, and you know. How you know you go to muscle, how you know your gym is effective? You can see the muscles in your head and your hands. Then nobody need to tell you, I am going to look at the muscle. That's why people wear very short t-shirts, to reveal their bulging biceps, to demonstrate to others, even if I don't, hey, I go to the gym. Oh, you go to the gym? Oh, very nice. So like this, you people know very well how this is to be done. Like that, when you are actually operating from Atma, you don't need any verifications. You don't need any, you just know. This point of time is not knowing. Even knowing, the intellect will try to verify. Actually, is realizing. This is the difference between knowing and realizing. I just realized it, that this is what it is. Just like you see Swami, how you know he's God. I just realized that, I mean, he's everything. How you know? What's the verification? Oh, when I saw him, I realized it. See this, your Atma recognizes it, and tears starts flowing down. Why you cried? I don't know. I just don't know. I have no idea. You see, when you cannot explain anything else with words, then that means that's a realization point. When I try to explain words, that means my mind is still active. That means it's not true.
Thank you. Let's have one last quick question from Brother Bharat.
Sir, Dr. Suresh, how to balance from peer pressure?
Why you want to balance? Why would you want to balance?
Because
what is it that the world is pressuring you to do?
Competition, like we're talking in our breakout group, how everybody in such a competitive mode. And I see people like parents talking, oh, did you hear about your cousin? They got into Ivy League. Did you hear about that cousin of yours got into Harvard? Look at you, for last couple of years, you're nowhere.
So Bharat, the formula in life is very simple. We don't compete with anybody else, and other people might try to tell you, okay, compete here. The greatest competition in life is with yourself. So I'm in competition with myself. I'm very keen to find Suresh, and I want to pulverize him and make sure that he's stepped out of my life, because each limit I want to find, I want to be better and better. So finally Suresh will go, and what will remain? Govinda. So the whole purpose in life, my friend, is to find your limits and pulverize it and go and extend the limit. And if others are pushing you to it, then they are good people who's pushing you to the limit. Peer pressure must be there. There must be good people who push you your limits. Yeah. One good example is Dr. Reddy also. He's a very taskmaster, but I like him because he pushes the limit. You know, he scolds me also. So if certain things are not done, hey, why you're not doing like this? Why you're not? So we need people to push us to higher limits in order for us to achieve others. Otherwise, we will just remain complacent. Complacency is death. Complacency is death. That's why Kaizen principle. What does Kaizen? Japanese people, why did they improve after Hiroshima and Nagasaki? They introduced only one principle. What is that? Kaizen. What is Kaizen? Everything improved by 1%. So you know what they did? They didn't improve by 100%. They improved 100 things by 1%, which is equal to 100%. See, that's how the whole life is. Improve 100 things by 1%. So in all life is to find people who exerts the peer pressure in order for us to break our limits and reach the other thing. To which height? To be towards immeasurable. Our immeasurable heights must be reached by people pushing us to the limitless. So encourage these things to happen in our life.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. So, brother, after this session, what homework would you suggest to our participants? What should we do until the next month?
So review back your own conflicts. If you have a problem, you review back what is the most troubling thing that you have in your life. List down 3 of these problems and apply this particular thing that we have told you, the 5 steps there, and look at your problem again from a different perspective. Don't look at it from I am the father, I am the son, look at it from the Atma. If I'm an Atma, how do I look at it? Don't look at it from the cloud perspective, but look at it from the sky perspective, because all clouds exist in the skies. So look at it from a higher perspective and see, how can I resolve this problem using this 5 questioning method in order for you to discover the answer?
So that was the homework, and we've come to the end of the session. Brother Praveen, my co-facilitator, and I and the team, we thank you all for participation. We had a really good, active group. And so thank you for all your inputs and suggestions and, for sharing your stories. That was very helpful indeed. And so we will meet next month.
I just, Advaita, one more point is, guys, this is not just another study circle. We are really on a mission. So you really have to take this work very seriously. Go back and practice this, and then you must now become ambassadors of this particular knowledge that Baba is giving us, or Gita is giving us, and look at it. Your mind must be free. Why your mind should be free? Only a free mind can contemplate on God. Only a free mind can contemplate on a higher reality. So the thing is, that is why the tools are given for you to address the issue. What can be done? Do it. If you cannot do, don't worry about it. And then just let your mind drift and contemplate, think of the higher. Then you come back next month and you tell us the experience of how this has happened, what has this happened, how can we solve, like that. It's a very, very nice, beautiful way of freeing your luggage and freeing your excess things that is hanging in your closet, so that the mind can be free and able to contemplate on the higher reality.
Sairam. So thank you all. Thank you, brother, for taking the time from your busy schedule. So we will end the session with Om and 3 Shantis. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam, everyone, and thank you. Have a good night.
Sairam and happy everyone.
Sairam.
Sairam.